You may be asking yourself, why would I need to learn any of the information that this video is going to present? Well, this video is going to present scenarios that should hopefully apply to most American citizens and people all around the world. Because currently, the world that we live in is literally imploding on itself.
Civil war is on the rise.
A civil war is inevitable. It will happen.
Have seen protests by local people upset at the impact.
Take back Canada! Take back Canada! No matter how you feel it, take a look at what happened. Yes, there is a significant security operation underway here in Belfast city centre because of counter-demonstrations. If I just turn the camera around the other way, we can show you that anti-immigration protesters wielding union flags and some posters that say they don't want to become second-class citizens in their own country.
We told you about the Ram Raid crime wave where thieves drive a vehicle right into a business to rob it. Well, it just happened in Los Angeles, out of all places, a bakery. And as Jim Murray reports, 100 looters grabbed as much.
Top Ukrainian officials will present the Biden administration with a list of targets inside Russia. A Ukrainian lawmaker tells CNN that face-to-face meetings are set to happen before the week is out in an effort to push the U.S. to lift restrictions on the use of American weapons against Russia.
Let's head straight into our top story this morning. Clashes broke out at an anti-Islam rally in the Norwegian capital of Oslo, prompting authorities to end the event early on.
Tens of thousands of people have been out on the streets across Israel tonight as unions there call for a general strike tomorrow in protest at the government's failure to secure the release of more than 100 hostages still being held by Hamas.
And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't post about the Venezuelan gangs that are wreaking havoc all over the United States, while the elected officials are claiming that what you're seeing right now is a figment of people's imaginations. That's an actual quote from the governor of Colorado, which is an absolute trip to me. Even though we were warned about these people a year ago, now they're all over the United States, including Chicago, apparently.
Said that Venezuelan immigrants are responsible for a lot of the crime that's happening in Chicago right now.
Yeah, they are, Vlad.
U.S. officials are on high alert as a notoriously violent prison gang is spreading from coast to coast. Tren de Aragua, or TDA, was born out of Venezuela in a prison and has been linked to crime like this jewelry store heist in Colorado. News Nation obtaining a memo warning law enforcement that an estimated 1,000 TDA members have been given the green light to attack officers.
And this all happened just this week. So this video is going to be a compilation of all the videos that I've done on all situations that you can use in your actual life. And hopefully this helps. I'll make chapters to make it easier. They'll be listed in the description box below. Here we go. This first one is going to show you how to assemble your own bug-out bag, or a bag that you can keep in your car, or a get-home bag, whatever you want to call it. And you get an idea of what you should actually be carrying based on what I did research over the years to find out what I should be carrying. So hopefully it's helpful. Today I'm going to show you some of the items that I carry in my long range INCH, I'm never coming home, bug out bag. So check this out. Again, you may modify this for your particular needs, your environment, the region of the country that you live in. But having a bag like this is a really good start. So check this out. not much difference between my kit and what everybody else carries. So I've been asked, I'm making the video, here it is. I carry a nylon sill tarp. It's a waterproof, tear resistant tarp. Works out well. You can use it as a footprint. You can use it for, works out well. You can use it as a footprint, or you can use this as a, well, how about this? As a tarp. I don't have to explain it to you. You know what I'm saying. 511 gears, 511 gear bag with a really, really good pair of binoculars in it. It's worth the wait. I have a Two Hawks War Beast Tomahawk. This works out well because it does several different jobs. It's also on a nice leather drop loop. It's incredibly sharp. You can use this for self-defense, or you can use this for prepping wood. It works either way. If you lose the handle, you can simply make another one, but this is really good hickory. So for processing wood, you can either use the Laplander, which is phenomenal, but I happen to carry the BUGOUT Laplander and a Pocket Boy as backup. This knife has been to the Smokies and the Rocky Mountains with me. This saw, I mean, and it's a beast. It blows through wood, no problem. So, I have a Mountain Hardware sleeping bag inside this compression. It goes down to minus 10 degrees. I have it in a compression bag, so it's pretty compact the way it sits now. In this Sea to Summit dry sack, I have a Mountain Hardware Tangent 2 4-season tent. I'll leave a link. I've already got a video of this thing set up. It's a little bit heavy, but it's a good pack. It's a good bag. It's a good tent, I'm sorry. For cooking, boiling water, I carry this this canteen. I got this from Dave Canterbury's site, and it works out really, really well. Comes apart. You can use this to make a fire underneath. Comes with a bowl, which works out really well. It's all very functional. It's all been tested in real life. And inside the canteen, I carry a Sawyer water filter and 2 Sawyer bags, one for dirty water, one for water after it's been processed. So this is for cooking and drinking water. Hand warmers. I've got a Big Agnes blow-up sleeping pad. This thing adds a little bit of weight, hogs a little space, but if you can ruck it, fuck it. Again, redundancy. I have 2 Sawyer water filters in here with a tool to clean it out in case it gets clogged, as well as 3 more bags. 2, I think Camelback or whatever they're called. 9-hour emergency candles. And a candle lantern holder. This thing works phenomenal. This will heat up a tent. It'll heat up a broke down vehicle. I keep it in this little foam capsule because it keeps it from getting damaged. Carry as many of these bad Larrys as you can, and that'll set you right up. As many as you can carry. You know what I'm saying? Because why not? If all hell has broken loose, you at least don't want to be in the dark. Carry aluminum foil. And I also carry these little casserole baking dishes. They take up no space at all. You can open it up, you can gather water, you can cook in it, all sorts of things. Aluminum, when the shit has hit the fan, aluminum is going to be worth its weight in silver. Besides my sleeping bag, I carry a high-end Adventure Medical Kits bivvy in case I run into something, somebody that needs help, whatever, who knows. Shit has hit the fan, so who knows. If you can ruck it, fuck it. Wilderness first aid, in case the adrenaline's pumping and you forget what you're doing, refer. Map of my area, topographical, waterproof. Extra knife besides the one I'm already carrying. Let me see here. I have a Gerber folding entrenchment tool. This is a good one. I paid extra money for it for a reason. And I also have a U-Dig-It small cat hole tool, made in America. And again, if you can ruck it, fuck it. It's all about weight. I carry a sewing kit. And you might as well, I got a couple of X-Acto surgical blades in there, nail clippers, and I carry an additional small sewing kit, redundancy. Quick clot. Figure it out, learn how to use it, it will save your life. Another emergency blanket, this is an Adventure Medical Kit, it's a larger one, so. Let's see, what else do we have here? Goal Zero. It's a solar panel. This will keep my AA's recharged, my AAA's recharged, the adapter. This will charge all sorts of things, because carrying a flashlight is great, but if you can't recharge it, that's not so great. You know what I'm saying? $100 could mean the difference between life and death. Who knows? I carry one. This is my fire kit. I have hundreds of waterproof matches, survival setups, and numerous ways to start a fire. Emergency candle, ferrocerium rod. I even got the Bear Grylls fire starter. Someone gave that to me, so laugh if you want, but it works better than anything else I have, so I carry it. And I carry it in a waterproof bag completely. Magnesium too, you never know. 550 cord, 550 cord, bank line, 550 cord. A safety flare made for a motorboat. These could save your life. At least carry one and make sure it works. Don't test it, make sure it works though. So laser bright. These are military grade glow sticks. They run on numerous batteries, but these things last for several hundred hours, so they're good to have. They're expensive though. These are $80. A Sharpie. Write in the rain, at least one or two. You never know when you need to write a note or write down directions. Fishing leaders. You can use these to make snares. You can use these for a lot of things. They don't take up any weight at all. You know what I mean? So you know what's going on. This is a dynamo. Solar. The solar is pretty much useless. But radio, all sorts of different things on this. It's an emergency gig. You know what I'm saying? Bandanas, REI microfiber towels. I have larger versions of these as well. These things work. They're good to have. This is a large tarp. A large tarp. I don't have to take the tent with me. It's one or the other, but it's winter time, so I'm taking them both. There's pegs in here and rods. Sam Splint, part of your first aid. Carry this thing. It could save your life. Toilet paper, small deodorant, toothbrush, moleskin, stuff to wipe your bum with, because when you're in the woods, you do not want to learn how to wipe your bum with a pine cone. Bring toilet paper, wipe your bum. First aid kit. Has a trauma kit, quick clot, and everything you would possibly need at least 3 or 4 times. Tylenol, allergy, and anti-diarrhea. Make sure you carry that stuff. Make your own first aid kit. Maybe I'll do a video on this. It depends. I'm not sure yet. Small Best Glide fishing survival kit. This will work. And this is a Best Glide Military Scout pocket survival tin. There's a lot of crap in here, just in case everything goes wrong and this is all you're carrying. It's absolutely better than nothing. Israeli bandage. Carry them. Use them. And a Thompson snare kit. These are definitely good to have. Batteries, 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 and lights. Surefire, surefire, surefire. And batteries that can be recharged. If you can't recharge it, the flashlight's only good for as long as the batteries last. Flashlights. Everyone knows that. Multi-tool. Don't skimp on a multi-tool. You don't want to be going to use the multi-tool and it simply breaks on you. That would suck. Leatherman or an SOG or a Gerber. Gerbers aren't bad, but double check it. Make sure it's... You're paying $60 for one, unless you score one online for 40 or 50. Don't skimp on the multi-tool. All right, I got to take my camera with me here. Flashlights, flashlights, flashlights. Food. I got a couple of MREs stripped down. I have a little bowl to eat out of, my spork. I carry one of these just in case. Dried food, freeze-dried food, enough for a few days. A couple of things, you know, energy bars, whatnot. This is my clothing that I carry. A pair of ultralight, triple light design pants. I have wool socks and silk liners for my wool socks to keep your feet happy. I carry 2 pairs of wool socks. I carry those ex officio underwear because you can go 3 or 4 weeks with 1 pair, which is awesome. And merino wool undergarments. And always be aware of what you're wearing on the way out of the house. It could be the last time you ever change, you know what I mean? These are walking sticks. I bring walking sticks because they're small and I can strap them to my pack. So the next part of this video, you're going to see all this stuff jammed inside all these bags, and it'll be either in this Terminator F4 bag or this Mystery Ranch FILBE setup. I'm not exactly sure. They say that you can go 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, but you can't go 3 seconds without hope. So square yourself away as soon as you can. The sooner the better. This is all just the extra crap I had laying around. I'm not going to show weapons in this video because, well, just because. If you can't figure that one out on your own, I don't know what to tell you. Carry cigarettes. Carry whiskey. Those are good things to trade. Gold. Just be aware of who you're trading with. Use your own best judgment. But in a world without a rule of law, there's not going to be any law. So next time you see all this crap, it will be bagged up and inside one of those packs and ready to go on my back. This is a Mystery Ranch. Phenomenal United States made harness. And this is a FILB bag in the back. It's got some weight to it. It's probably clocking 60 pounds, but that would be because of that ginormous tent. Okay. Hatchet on the side, easy to get to. Everything I may want to get to for whatever reason is in the top, see-through. Got my maps in the top, you dig? And first aid. Also, I got a couple of glow sticks, hand washers, hand sanitizers, my bad. And I got a wool cap. And my fire kit is in the top, because when I get to a spot, the first thing I want to do basically is drop my pack and start making a fire. So those are my priorities. Yours may be different. You know what I mean? You may want to drop your pack and start digging a hole to make a swimming pool. I don't know. People are different. That's why it's America, the melting pot. It would appear the pot is now on fire. Alright, so what I do is instead of throwing everything in, I put them in hiking packs. There's the REI microfiber. This is an enormous tarp. And I'm thinking I might shit can the Four Season tent because it's just a little bit too much weight. It doesn't make sense. I don't need both. So that's a huge sill tarp right there, waterproof. For the most part, tear resistant. This is just a bunch of odds and ends. This is the first aid shit, stuff like that. I hope I'm in view on that camera. I don't make these videos because I have a complex and I need people's approval. I see, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I do this because what else is there to do in this country? If you protest, they stick you in a free speech zone. And if you walk around day to day, it's just amazing how stupid people are. Who are you voting for? What the fuck difference does it make? Seriously, what difference does it make? I sound like Hillary, don't I? You know, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I make videos, try to wake people up. I don't know. All they seem to do is make me look like an idiot to everyone I ever know, because now I'm a truther. Blows me away. Sam Splint, you already saw that. I keep these on the top. These are really well-made gloves. They're made in the United States. They're kind of sap gloves, but these are really good quality leather gloves, and they actually fit like a glove. Not OJ's gloves, but like a glove. So I've got everything nice and packed in here, and I have it packed in a way so that I can get at it easily. If you're gonna make a bag, you want to carry extra waterproof bags. Waterproof is everything. Having a bag full of water is like having a bag full of suck. Nobody wants that. And these are good for your food at nighttime too, if you're in a bear infested area or bears are known to be around. You're gonna want to learn how to tie these up and throw them up in the tree. My water filter. This was food and such. I normally mark it, as you can see. I mark them, put down what year it is and everything, because I use this crap a lot. Again, my stripped down MRE. This is first aid, candle, saw, trowel, my clothes. Now these are for when everything goes wrong, because the clothes I'm wearing will last me several days. I just happen to dress like that. This is cleanup stuff. You want to keep yourself clean if you can. Here's that ginormous tent. Doesn't seem to weigh that much, but again, it's a mountain hardware tent, so it's got some weight to it naturally. And that's basically it, besides my sleeping bag. I got my canteen on the side. I got my tent poles on the side as well. There's an inside pocket you can hang a camelback bladder. But I'm going to think of something different. I may carry my 2 canteens and this extra stainless bottle, which also has a ferrocerium rod, aluminum foil inside it, as well as 2 Sawyer water filters. So this on its own is a decent little survival kit. If it's better than nothing, you know what I mean? I can boil water and I can start a fire, and there's a glow stick in here. If all else fails, it's better than just my wallet and a knife. But because it's winter time, if it gets ugly around here, the camelback's just going to freeze on me. I'm going to have a bag of frozen water, and it's going to rip, and it's going to suck. Once again, we get back to a bag of suck. I am carrying 2 of these bad Larrys. I'm not sure if I need all that weight. But it's well worth it when you have no batteries left. It's going to be a while. If everything goes horribly wrong and you have to bug out, you're going to want to bug out and stay out of sight for a while. You want to sustain yourself for a couple, 3-5 days till everything cools down. And then you can start sneaking out like a raccoon and seeing if you can rummage through somebody's shit. You know what I mean? Again, cigarettes, whiskey, weed, those are all things you can trade. You don't want to be giving up your gold to somebody, you know, for something to eat, giving them an ounce of gold. But I mean, I bet your cigarettes would be good to go, because stores are going to be looted and trashed. We've already seen how people act on Black Friday. Black Friday, all hell breaks loose. Imagine the day they decide to press the button and shut EBT cards off. That third of the population of the United States is going to go after the other 2/3, and I'm really sure the cops and everyone's just going to stand down and they're going to let the protesters vent and watch us tear each other to pieces. So that's a big bag, and if you want something smaller to maybe carry in your purse, your backpack, or on your mountain bike, motorcycle, or in the glove box of your car, this is the option for you right here. This is an EDC bag. The one thing you should carry in your vehicle, whether you're out exploring nature, outdooring hardcore trails, out overlanding for several days, or you just want to be prepared for the absolutely inevitable. Period. That's where this comes into play. I carry this with me at all times. It's right next to my driver's seat. If anything goes wrong, and with this small pack, very small pack, I stand a phenomenal chance of making it 1, 2, 3, 4 nights if I have to, and I'm so much more comfortable than just simply having a cell phone or nothing at all. This pack covers a wide gamut. And I'm going to show you what's in mine, what I use it for, and why you should make yourself one as soon as humanly possible. And I'll also leave a list below for every item in this pouch, including this pouch, so you can find it on your own. You can't ask for better than that. You can if you want, but you're not going to get it. So there, as they say, is that. To start with, this is a Maxpedition fatty organizer. You can use a VanQuest. You can use any number of pouches that are available out there. But I stick with Mystery Ranch, Kafaru, Maxpedition, or VanQuest. I am not one of those channels that is talking about budget gear. If you're going to take your vehicle and pack it up and head out into remote places where there's literally signs saying, this is a remote location, search and rescue may be delayed by a long time. I don't want the budget shit. I don't do that. Not on this channel. Everything that I have is either made in America, made in Japan, or made in Australia, and it's the best that I can afford. Because if your ass is on the line and you go grab your, made in Korea Paxpedition back fatty pouch, when you go to grab it, chances are the handle's going to come off. But on that, I will digress. Okay, so the Maxpedition pouch has a handle. It has a big ass zipper. It's got a stretchy Velcro mesh pouch in the front, and it's got MOLLE strips in the back. In the front of mine, I keep an ESEE Laser Strike Made in America knife right in the front. I don't have any clip-ons. I do have a little 550 cord with a little tensioner on it, but I don't want this getting hung up in the Maxpedition pouch when I draw it out. So that's the number one thing that's on the outside. And then a chem stick, and I always make sure the chem stick is current, meaning it's within the expiration date, which is usually like 2,000 years. That's also in the front of this particular pouch, which I will leave a list where you can get everything in the description below. So you can just basically order everything that you need at one spot and have it here in a couple of days. I carry Ben's wipes. These are for mosquitoes, black flies, chiggers, ticks, fleas, etc. I carry one of these in my wallet. I carry one of these in my back pocket. And I carry them in any bag that I own, period. These things kick ass. And that is that. I also carry a package of Ivy Cleanse towelettes, okay? You just had a rollover, you just had an accident, the high lift jack just broke your arm, wrist, or jaw. The last thing you want to do is, while you're bleeding and crying and freaking out, is stumbling into poison oak, ivy, or sumac and not having something to quell it a little bit. This stuff is worth its weight in gold, and you should have some. Also, in the front, right here, man, that's tough to get out. This is a real hypothermia emergency blanket. This isn't one of those shitty ones from REI. This is a real one made in Sweden. This will open up large enough to cover my ample frame completely all the way around, because in the desert it's 120 degrees all day. At a mountaintop it can be 90 degrees all day. As soon as the sun goes behind a mountain face, the temperature drops by 40 to 50 to 60, sometimes 70 degrees. If you don't have one of these, you're going to be effed directly in your A. Let's open this up and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. This will save your entire life and the life of somebody else. Or if it takes search and rescue 1, 2, or 3 days, or it takes the off-road or tow truck guy 1, 2, or 3 days to get there, having this in your cargo pocket, having this in your pocketbook, having this in your hand will make that wait exponentially easier than it would have been without this gear. Right off the rip, you're going to notice that I have an ITS Tactical EDC Trauma Kit. This kit has quick clot inside, it has a soft TW tourniquet, and it has a pair of gloves. It's very basic, but it's enough to stop bleeding if you did get a head injury or any place else on your body. You've got a tourniquet and you've got quick clot inside here. inside here. Last time I showed you this pouch, this wasn't in here. This is a new addition. No offense to Am3 Outfitters, I love those guys, but this fits in here better. I also carry a large Made in America nail clipper. These things do a million different things. They can pull out a splinter, they can pull out a wooden splinter, they can pull out a stinger, or they can cut your nails. Having your nails effed up in a bad situation is a bad situation. Your goal is to make your bad situation a better situation, not a worse situation. Having nail clippers is everything. Ask me how, I know. I also have attached in here to the little key fob, I have a compass with an emergency whistle, with the magnifying glass on it, and a thermometer. Because it's good to know these few things, even though you're in an emergency situation, straight up. Okay. Now I carry, come on, dude. I carry a Strider SMF at all times. But the vehicle just went over, or the vehicle caught on fire, or the vehicle went over and caught on fire. Maybe my pocket knife got thrown. I carry an Emerson Wave pocket knife at all times. It's made by Zero Tolerance and Emerson. It's a collaboration knife. It's a liner lock. This stays inside my bag at all times. So already I have 2 knives inside my bag. I also keep a small multi-tool, screwdrivers, very, very fine screwdrivers. This also does Torx, etc. This is good for a variety of things, but mostly it's good for keeping my eyeglasses in check and keeping things like this in check. It's just good to have. A working Bic lighter at all times. A small tube of infection guard. In case you've got a cut, you can spray this down. You can throw the quick clot on it out of the EDC trauma kit, and you're good to go. I carry 1, 2, 3 titanium tent spikes that work in conjunction with this, because I can make an emergency shelter with this and really actually fasten it to the ground. I carry a really decent quality knife sharpener. This also sharpens my serrations, even though I don't have them on either one of the knives. But if I did, I can sharpen them with this little bad boy right there. I carry this, I forget who makes this, but this is an insanely sharp straight razor. Insanely. Skinning a squirrel, skinning a kangaroo rat, skinning a field mouse, skinning an owl, if you had to. I would hate to do that, but food is way down on my list. Water, shelter, and warmth are way up on my list. And hope. Okay. Chapstick. Doesn't have to be from Moab, but this is made in Moab with special Moab herbs and spices. No, it's not. It's regular old chapstick with a Moab thing. This is good to have for so many reasons. Ferrocerium rod and magnesium from a company called Tops that makes top knives, with a whistle and a can opener, all in one thing. And this can opener can act as a striker, which is very, very helpful. The next thing is an epinephrine pen. Perhaps you stumbled on a bunch of ground hornets, or a spider bit you. This will help with an allergic reaction. These are expensive. These are very difficult to get. I carry these at all times. I've never actually needed them because I'm not allergic to anything. But just today alone, I helped 2 lesbian off-road dual-purpose motorcycle women who bought the motorcycles and didn't realize you need to know how to use them in Moab and crashed. I helped one of them, and then the other guy almost ran me off the road. But my first aid gear has always gone to somebody else. I carry 1, 2, 3 sets of first aid in the truck, and I'm not exactly certain if I've ever needed it for myself. It's always good to have it for somebody else. As much of a dick as I am when you first meet me, for the most part, if you're injured or you're in need, I got your back. Moving on. I don't love these whatsoever at all, but it's a life straw. If you can find some place to find water, the Life Star technically will get you through 1, 2, 3 days. And that's what we're looking for. This is basically for overnight if possible. We've also got the Bear Grylls made by Gerber fire starter. And when someone first gave me this, I laughed at them because being a judgmental prick, I'm like, Bear Grylls, that's the stupidest. This is the best ferrocerium rod striker combination I've ever seen, ever. I've given these to family and friends, straight up. I laughed at it at first, discovered I was wrong, ate a little crow, and I moved on. It also allows you to store fire starter right in the stem of it. I'm not even kidding. $16 on Amazon or REI or whatever. This Bear Grylls fire starter is no joke at all. Usually didn't trust people on the Discovery Channel, but it's funny how that all comes around. A high quality diamond saw. 2 rings, cut down a branch, make a fire. Don't buy a cheap one. I'll leave links for a good one. This one I've used numerous times. I keep it in the bag so the humidity doesn't make it rust up, but these are very good to have. And they fit in the pouch. Okay. Telescoping straw to stoke your fire. These are really good to have for a lot of reasons, and it also works as a long straw to get water out of crevices in little places, like, you know, if you find yourself in the desert, this is great for stoking a fire, but it's also great for getting to water that you couldn't reach otherwise. Keep that in mind. This gives you a full 2 foot where you could reach into a crack, like up in those pieces of redstone right there, and you could get yourself a drink where normally only small rodents and such could reach. Now you can reach. Okay. Zip ties or wire ties. As many as you got, as many as you can carry. It's amazing the different uses you can find for a zip tie, even when you're in the middle of nowhere. A marine flare. All hell breaks loose. You're out in the middle of no place, and all of a sudden it rains like you read about. Everything's soaking wet. This will help you get a fire started when all other methods fail. I've carried this for years. I've never had to use it, but I still got it. I think about 100 feet of Kevlar string, 450 foot-pound braking force, and then some regular old 550 cord. Actually, this isn't 550 cord. This is bank line. Something to tie things down with. That's all you care about. A small Altoids container I've carried for years with a variety of different fire starting tidbits in here. That's the volcano thing. That's my favorite. Anything that can help you start a fire is A-okay with me. Magnesium rod with ferrocerium on the side. Make sure you don't buy the IMHO and China ones that don't work whatsoever at all. This is not one of them. This works. This, you take the back of your knife, you make this block into a powder, and you literally have thermite, and it will burn through everything. So there, as they say, is that. Tick removing tweezers. Good to have in most parts of the United States. These are very, very good to have. Duct tape. Of course, the Gorilla Tape is melted to the bag, right? Duct tape, Gorilla Tape, as much as you think you would ever need. I carry about 20 feet of each. Fishing line with fishing hooks wrapped up inside. Not a ton. And fishing leaders. These fishing leaders can be used for fishing, or they can also be used to make a small snare for animals. If your 1, 2, or 3 days gets worse and you end up out there for 6 days and you're eating squirrels, that'll help you catch them. Okay, so that basically concludes the inside of the fatty organizer, except this pouch, and then in the back there's a zippered pouch. Now, I've already showed you the ITS Tactical EDC trauma kit that I inserted inside the fatty pack. But we've also got Pyro Pack from an MRE kit that this is gel that will light on fire, that comes with your meals ready to eat. This stuff is no joke, and I'm glad I just pulled it out because it's perforated. But fortunately, I keep everything double sealed. This will start a fire on running water. And then I carry Quick Clock Sport, more blood stopper. What do we got in here? Band-Aids, blisters, burn gel, etc. Things that you would think you would need if you couldn't get to your medicine cabinet. It's not rocket science, and it would vary from person to person. Same with this. Again, burn gel, iodine, Band-Aids of all sizes. Things you would need, blah, blah, blah. Now, I carry a lot of this, a lot meaning 16, Imodium AD. Let's say you use the Life Straw, and as I've discovered in the past, the Life Straw doesn't do its job, and you end up pooping water. In a survival situation, you do not want water coming out of your bum because that will cause you to become very, very dehydrated. That's where Imodium AD comes into play. It keeps everything in check. It throws a plug in, the old, you know what I'm saying. You don't want to, and some more fire starter. So that, as well as an SOL 2-person blanket to work with the Swedish emergency blanket. That, the bank line, and these 3, I can make a shelter to keep the wind and the water off of me. And I can also wrap myself in a heat reflecting blanket, which is something you would need because the temperature, it might be 50 degrees at night, but if it was 110 all day, you were going to be freezing your ass off. The reason I'm making this video is because in 6 days, I've seen 8 cars, Jeeps, Razors burned to the ground, vehicles flooded, completely knocked out of commission, or flipped over. The EDC bag is great if you have a backpack, a pocketbook, a motorcycle or mountain bike with bags on it, or a glove box handy. But if you just have your cargo pants or your cargo shorts or just regular pants, here's the smallest iteration of a survival kit that you can carry that I've actually tested over several years, and I'm sponsored by none of these products. You can carry this in your pocket and it'll help you get through 24 or 48 hours if you have to. Okay, you're lost. You're away from your vehicle. You don't have your bug-out bag. You don't have your EDC. But if you follow my channel, chances are, in your jacket or in your cargo pants, you may have one of these. These are pre-made pocket survival kits. And I'm going to take a look inside all of them to see which one's worth your hard-earned money and if they'll help you make it through the night. So check this out. So what we have here are 4 of the best-selling pocket survival kits that are not made in China, that are made by reputable companies. I'm going to open these up, show you what comes in them, tell you how much they cost per unit, and you can make your own decision. So check this out. Okay, the first thing you notice, it comes in a tin. A nice little tin. Now, if you know anything about survival, a tin can help you out in a lot of different ways. So right off the bat, the little tin is a score. You'll notice wrapped around the edges is a piece of reusable waterproof tape. So when you pull that off, try to keep it where you can find it. This is made by a company called Best Glide. It's a military scout pocket survival tin, and it's made for military and government. You open it up, you notice that it's got a nice little watertight gasket in there, which is helpful because you want to keep your stuff dry. Actually pretty cold out, so my nose is going to run. I apologize in advance. These are always helpful. And this little package of gel sil, save this because it keeps moisture out of your tin. You'll notice right off the bat they give you a glow-in-the-dark button compass, which is helpful. And they also give you a small sewing kit. A sewing needle, some thread, a button, and safety pins. Now, believe it or not, losing a button in a survival situation would suck. These are gold. I carry sewing kits in my bug-out bag, in my escape and evade bag, and pretty much anywhere I go. Fishing line with a lure, a hook, and a sinker, and quite a bit of fishing line, so that's a score. More than one waterproof matches. These are hurricane matches, all right? So when you light this, it's almost impossible to put them out. And they give you the striker separately, which is nice, unless you lose the striker. In an emergency situation, always try to keep your cool, because panicking can cause you to fumble and lose things and make an otherwise easy enough process really, really difficult. Now, if you're lost, this is everything. Absolutely everything. An emergency whistle. A diamond saw for cutting down branches. Now, if you've ever used these, they're not awesome to use, but they absolutely work. You can take down a 2-inch tree in no time. A pencil for leaving a note or keeping track, and also some quick tinder to make fires. These things are awesome, but there's only 3. A nice little piece of 550 cord. This isn't actually 550 cord, but I believe this is that high-speed Kevlar cord. So this is worth its weight in gold if you know how to use it. Zip tie, cable tie, self-explanatory, and some wire. A good amount of baling wire. Now, if you look right over here, you'll see that I started to build a lean-to. Using that baling wire or that cord, I can attach all those branches to the top to keep them from breaking away during the night. Do you see what I mean? Several days worth of water purification tablets. Several days. Don't ever drink water, no matter where it's from, without purifying it either by fire, by leaving it in the sun, or using water purification tablets. It just isn't worth it. A super sharp razor blade. Super, super sharp. I carry one of these in my escape and evade. These are very helpful, skinning animals, skinning fish, etc. An emergency mirror with the hole in the middle, so if you're using this to try to find your way or signal others, it's very helpful. An actual ferrocerium rod and a striker. Several more bandages, good quality bandages, not IMHO in China, and another. And this is something I carry in my wallet every day, and I have for 20 years. A portable magnifying glass, a Fresnel lens. You can use this for, if you lose your reading glasses, you can use this for a multitude of things, including starting a fire. These are invaluable. I keep one in my wallet. 2 emergency candles, a large Ziploc bag, and another zip tie. It's amazing how much you can fit in here, and all these things will make an emergency situation that much easier on you. Now let's take a look at a different type of emergency kit. Okay, it's super windy out today, but I wanted to finish this video. So I brought another pocket survival kit made by a company called ESSI. And this is their next up, their graduated level, the more advanced level survival kit that comes in a nice pouch. I'm gonna show you that. This is from a company called Go Prepared Survival, okay? I have no affiliation with these guys. I bought all of these kits with my own money. That way there I can show you my real opinion of these things and if they would actually work. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's dig into this. Okay, so this is from Randall Adventure and Training. It's the ESSI School of Survival. These guys are very, very well known. They have a line of fixed blade knives, as well as lots of classes on how to survive in the wilderness, how to set up deadfall traps, etc., etc., etc. So this is one of their kits that you can get on Amazon. So I grabbed one. It comes in a tin, And again, the tin itself is a water containment device. It's a signaling device. It's a little bit smaller. Well, it's a lot smaller than the military Scout, but this fits in the cargo pocket really well. You open it up and they've got it packed really nicely. Now, I suck at putting things back in the box, so I dread opening this, but let's get into it. 3 quick tinders for starting a fire. String for a variety of things, including building a shelter. It's wire, building a shelter, making snares, a variety of things, binding things together, and a tiny pocket flashlight. Tiny. Now we're going to test these individually and see if these are even worth anything, so we'll get back to that. A pretty substantial mini fishing kit. It's got a lure, it's got hooks, it's got wire, and it's got split shot weights. Windy as all hell out here. Ferrocerium rod with a striker, pretty generous piece, and it's tied together. Button compass. Hey, at least it's made in Japan, so there's high marks for that. Also in the kit is a straight razor. Good for lots of things. Scanning an animal, cutting things in general. It's made by a company called dermasafe.com. Every decent kit will have one of these. In this little pouch is a cleaning rag, a signaling mirror, which you can see right there, as well as compass, navigation, and emergency instructions right here, including how to make a snare. SE Knives, these guys are known for this kind of stuff. In the bottom, all their information, everything you basically need to know in an emergency. So there's that. So that's basically the contents of this particular kit. And I turned and looked over my shoulder and realized that there were 2 deer watching me do my review, which is pretty cool, seeing how I'm in a forest area in the middle of a huge city. Okay, so this is their upgraded version, okay? Same company, upgraded version, comes in a very nice little pouch. I'm really into backpacks, and I love seeing that, which is why they made it on my list of pocket survival kits. I love seeing made in the United States. So you open it up. It's got a compartment in the front, as well as a zipper around the side. And it is indeed a YKK zipper. Also in the back, you've got belt loops for carrying this on your backpack, carrying it on your belt. And again, signaling, knot tying, snares, etc. In the top, you'll find a foil mylar rescue blanket. Self-explanatory. If it's really cold, you want to keep your body temperature in, this will do it. This will also serve as a base for an emergency shelter. Let's unzip it and see what we got here. Right off the bat, a very generous piece of duct tape. That's a lot of duct tape. You can use this to close a wound, fashion a bowl, fix a rip, fix a backpack, fix a tent. It's duct tape. You can do millions of things with duct tape. A full-size Sunto compass, and that's nice to see, a full-size compass. You don't see that every day. A Write in the Rain notebook. This is a notepad that you can use that can get wet and it won't run. Self-explanatory, leave a note, take directions, etc., etc., etc. A large Whirlpack bag for collecting water. There's 2 of these. These are large. I think they're about a quart a piece for collecting water. Okay, inside this pouch is a rescue mirror with a little bit of 550 cord on it, your positioning hole, and then how to use the mirror is right on the back. So that's pretty nice. That's a nice signaling mirror. You'll have this for a while. Like I said earlier, Fresnel lens. It also has basic survival tips on the back. You may need to use the Fresnel lens to read these, but still. you can. And these are also magnificent for starting a fire. And for people that wear reading glasses, if you lose your glasses in a survival situation, having one of these in your wallet will save your sanity. And then inside, four quick tinders, an emergency whistle, Dermasafe straight razor, and like I said, in a survival situation, stop, relax before you break into these things and start playing with sharp things, because you don't want to get cut and cause a survival situation to turn into a life and death situation. Seriously. It also has a small jigsaw blade, which I believe can be used for twigs and small pieces of metal, cutting through a fence, etc. Pencil for writing in the rain on your notepad. A small Gerber multi-tool. Prying nails, opening containers, and just a sharp edge for prying. More wire, making snares, securing things, etc. And then a 23 meters, 75 feet of Kevlar tripwire. Kevlar tripwire. This is 500-pound wire. String, I'm sorry. And then finally you have a ferrocerium rod. Not too bad. Not too bad. It all fits in this nice little container, so a lot of people watching this are going to say, I can make my own. I understand that. But some people don't want to make their own, or they'll never actually get around to making their own. So is it worth your money for the convenience factor of buying one of these and simply throwing it in your backpack, throwing it in the console of your truck, throwing it in your pocketbook? That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people need to be honest. Making a list, talking about making a pocket survival kit is great if you do it. Many people never will, and that's just a fact. The problem is, survival situations come up in the twinkling of an eye. You never see it coming. Having a kit like this on your side gives you the ability. Oh, you know what I didn't see in here? I didn't see a fishing kit. Aha, yeah, there's no fishing kit in here. I was gonna say this will give you the ability to make water, make a shelter, make a fire, emergency signaling, survival tips, etc. And there's a compass. But there is no fishing kit, I just noticed. Oh my, all right. This is their first tier survival kit. This is their second tier survival kit, and they go way up. They go way, way up. You can go up to several $100s to several, I think to about $500. When the $500 kit shows up, that's when I'm gonna make my own. Okay, let's keep this moving. I ordered this from a company called Go Prepared Survival, and I like seeing that, which is why I ordered it. There's lots and lots of popular kits on Amazon, but they're junk. They're $20 and they're full of garbage. Let's see what's in this one. First of all, it comes in a waterproof bag that you can use to collect water right off the bat. Several zip ties, wire ties, automatic fishing, the speed hook, made by, I believe this is made by Go Prepared Survival. And it comes with everything you need, including dried bait to go fishing. Mylar bags and water purification tablets. Band-aids, aspirin, first aid gel, antibiotic ointment, and more bandages. So a very minimal first aid kit, but a first aid kit nonetheless. A tiny button compass, a Mylar blanket, some thread, a a signaling mirror, and a straight edge. Now this came with a, I think for $6 more you could upgrade it and get the fire making kit, which I did, but I neglected to bring it with me, so I'll show you that when I get back to the ranch, which isn't actually a ranch. So I've shown you the inside of all these kits and what they contain. None of these kits cost more than $100, and actually 3 of them cost under $50. I'm going to show you what the prices are and the one that I would pick if I had to choose just one. The first kit, the PSK-1 by Go Prepared Survival, the way I'm showing it right now, it costs you $43 shipped. This gives you first aid, shelter, water, food, and fire. So it's probably going to be one of my top picks, without a doubt. And it's made in America. The second kit is made by Essie, and it's $78. It comes in a nice little pouch, which is great. Pouches are awesome, but it doesn't have a fishing kit in it. It does have pretty much everything else, and it's fairly substantial. The small kit, the beginner kit, offered by Essie Knives is $30. It comes with some good stuff in it, but for a few dollars more, you can upgrade to the next kit that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to pass on this one. It just isn't worth it, in my opinion. Because for $7 more, you can get the Military Scout kit that I'm showing right here. And you can see by the scratches all over it, I've carried this kit for years. So for under $40, or actually for $43, you can either get the PSK-1, which has the automatic fishing kit in it, shelter, small first aid kit, or you can get this for $38 shipped to your door. This has everything except shelter, and for an extra $10 you can get the little pouch. So my pick out of these 4 would be either this kit right here, the PSK-1, made in America. For $43, it covers all the bases: shelter, food, water, and fire. Or you can grab this kit, which you can see by the scratches I've been carrying for years. It's under $40, but you still need to add a Mylar blanket. Links to purchase all of these will be pinned in the comment section below. Okay, the next thing I'm going to cover here is how to filter water, because water is the most important thing in a survival situation. And next up would be fire and shelter, but we're going to cover water right here. So here we go. Okay, I have people ask me this question all the time about filtering water. When I'm on the road for 30, 40 days at a whack, I'm not buying bottled water. I'm just not doing it. If I am, it's absolute last resort. I carry a 5-gallon NATO jug in the back strictly for water, and I filter water from home with a big Berkey water filter and bring it on the road with me. But 5 gallons only lasts about 6 to 7 days for me. I drink a lot of water, as everyone should, no matter what the temperature is. So what I do is when I run out of water, I'm almost always in a place where natural water is available. For instance, I'm in Colorado at 10,000 feet. This water runoff is coming from the snowpack at 13,000 feet. So what I do, I grabbed one of these. This is a Sawyer 1-gallon bag. They sell for about $17. It has a large opening on one end to fill it, and then a small opening on the other end, like a 2-gallon bottle. And what you do is you take this opening and you put this $20 Sawyer filter on it, and it will filter 99.9% of everything out of the water. No two ways about it, and these things last for 1 million gallons, they claim. For $20, I replace them every time I think of it. I've got about 5 of these in my truck. But this filters the water down, which, I mean, most people would think that this water is already good to go. Unfortunately, I'm not in that school of thought. I filter absolutely everything. Okay, so now that I'm back at the truck, I'm going to take this container and this Sawyer water filter. I'm going to pull the cap, apply a little bit of pressure, and this will start filtering on its own. Now, sadly, I managed to tear the bag. And this is some additional trail outtakes. Climbing through the trees, you can definitely suffer from scuffs and abrasions. I've had that Sawyer water filter bag for about 2 years. I believe I got it in Virginia in, what is the name of that town? The name escapes me. The bags are about $20. They're well worth it. It's got a hole in it. I can do a trail repair on it, but still, I'm filtering a good 3/4 of a gallon of water right now. It's filtered and it's fresh from the mountaintops. You can't go wrong with that. It's one of the best water filtration devices I've ever used, and I've used them all. The hand pumps, the catadines, all these. There's no moving parts in here. They claim it'll last either 100,000 or 1,000,000 gallons. I carry several of them because they sell them everywhere. $20 at Walmart, and how can you go wrong? At any rate, that's how you filter water. Now let me break out my first aid kit and tend to this abrasion on my leg, because it is bleeding. Always carry first aid. Okay, so you can get these Sawyer water filters at Amazon, Walmart, sporting goods stores, absolutely anywhere, eBay. You can get the smaller version like I showed in the video, and the video wasn't too complicated because all you do is you screw it to the bag, you squeeze the bag a little, and pour it into a clean receptacle. For $20 or $30, they give you a bag to fill up with dirty water that needs to be filtered. They give you the plunger, they give you the straw to clean it out. It's the easiest, best water filtration device I've ever used. And I've used them all. So that's one way to filter water, and there's a lot of other ways, but this video is already long as it is. I'll leave the links to other methods of filtering water in the description box below. But for now, let's move on to the next most important thing, and that would definitely be solar power. Real quick, this video is not going to have background music. It's not going to be fancy. I got to make this video and get it up on the internet before I leave where I'm at, because I'm heading to Crater Lake and I don't expect any internet signal. But I wanted to get this up before I was done because this is important. We're living in really strange times right now. So here we go. The solar blanket that I'm showing you right now is a replacement for the solar blanket that I've carried for the last 4 years. The one I had was a 200-watt solar blanket, and it was phenomenal. And it was made by Off Grid Trek. Renee, the owner of Off Grid Trek, used to work for the military. He used to work for a bunch of big-time technology companies that developed bomb-proof, no kidding around, no frills solar panels. Things that you could actually take a few bullet holes through it, drive over it with your truck, or even have a day where there's no sun and it still pulls a charge. Yeah, these are those. 24.5% efficiency rating on these things, and he's selling a 300-watt solar bug-out kit, which is what I'm showing you right here. It's the solar blanket along with the carry case and the digital, really, really nice MPPT or solar charger. Actually, I'm going to let him explain the solar charger to you because I'm not a review channel. I don't do facts, figures, etc., so forth, blah, blah, blah. I just use the stuff, and if it works, it works. And if it breaks, I tell you. But here, let Renee fill in the blanks for you real quick.
Hey guys, Renee here with Off Grid Trek. I've had a lot of people ask me about the 300-watt solar blanket, get an idea of some of the, because it's our newest solar blanket, what can it power for power stations? So I've got some examples here. Milo's are helpful. He's our helper. But I've got some examples here of some different power stations, very popular ones. I'm going to show you the different cables that we use, or an example of the different cables. We have multitude of cables. Either way, as an example, I've got a Blue Eddy AC200 Max here. I've got an Anchor Powerhouse 767. I've got an EcoFlow Delta 2 Max and an EcoFlow Delta 2 as well. Any of these can be powered by our 300 watt solar blanket, plus many others as well too. Our 300 watt solar blanket, this is it right here. Show you guys. Lightweight, 13.2 pounds. I'm going to show you it laid out. And pretty darn simple. All of ours come with an Anderson SB connector. That's this red connector right here. All of our 300 watt solar blankets, and it's the same with all of our bigger ones, are 220, 200s, 215s, and 120s as well. Have two USB charging ports on the back, a USB Type-C, and a DC 5521. These are regulated. So it's not like it has a built-in MPPT solar charge controller, but these are regulated. So there's only a certain amount of power for powering your smaller devices. Although you can power a laptop, or let's say a new MacBook Pro with USB Type-C with this solar blanket as well. So here, and that's just our waterproof cover that we have on these now. Let me show you our example of two of our cables here. So anytime you're purchasing from us, you're going to want two things here. Let me just separate all of this. There we go. You're going to want one of our extension cables. That's this right here. It's 5 meters, or approximately 16.5 feet in length. And as you can see, same thing. We use the Anderson SB connector here, like we do on that. Now this is an example here. This is a Anderson SB2. We have an XT60i connector, so that's going to work really well with the EcoFlow products and the Anchor products as well too. We do have other cables, like for example the Blue Eddy AC200 Max, or any of the Blue Eddy products. They have their own solar cables, have an MC4 end. We do have cables for those along with all of the other models as well. But here, let me lay out a solar blanket for you, give you an idea. This way it'll give you perspective on size, which is this guy right here. So this is going to be it here. Pretty simple. Just going to lay it out. It's kind of like an accordion. It's quite easy to do. I just got the cable up there. And that's it. You lay this out, and how you would connect everything, like I said, quite simple. You'd start with the extension cable, which is this guy right here. And all you would do is just connect, I don't know if you can see that right there. And there's no way, you can't reverse it, by the way. There's no way to reverse polarity. So you just connect one end, and then you would connect that end to whichever cable you're using from us. We're going to use the XT60i, like I said, as an example. And where that's going to connect, I'll bring over, this is the EcoFlow Delta 2. It's right on the back. You can see another orange connector. That's the XT60i there. So I'm just going to connect to the back. This guy is fully topped up. It's not going to draw any power. But that is it. As you can see right there. That's all I did. So for anybody that's curious on how to connect our solar blankets to a solar generator, these are prime examples of how we do that. So I just wanted to give you an idea on that. Any questions? My name's Rennie. I'm the owner of the company. We do have stock of solar blankets in stock. We do have solar generators ready to ship. My personal favorites are the EcoFlow products, especially the Delta series. So if you're looking for multiple solar generators and you're just starting your journey, really consider these because of how I have another video, and I'll have a link to it. Voltage is the most important thing to know, especially in our interesting times when picking specific solar generators. Anchor would be my second pick. Blue Eddy would be my third after that. But either way, guys, like I said, any questions, let me know. My contact information will be in the back.
I love Renee because all he cares about is off-grid, living off-grid. He knows the political climate. He knows the days that we live in. And all he focuses on, and his entire career has been solar. Like I said, for military and high echelon people, now he makes them for you and I. And when he tells you which rankings he gives these solar generators, he's not kidding. I asked him to make this video for me because I don't have a solar generator with me, because my truck in and of itself is a solar generator. And this is how I hooked the blanket up to my truck. It's fairly straightforward. So Off-Grid Trek supplies you with Anderson connectors. Big, beefy Anderson connectors. You really can't go wrong with those. and they give you a pigtail that will go to the positive and negative terminals on your main battery, which simply allows you to take the Anderson connector, plug it directly into the solar controller, like you can see right here, and the blanket runs right off of it. But in most overland vehicles, including my own, I've already got a red arc system, so I simply did this. I have an Anderson connector from Australia that's mounted permanently to the side of my Alucab, and I plug in my solar from up top through an Anderson connector right where you're seeing me plug in now. When I want to use a solar blanket, I simply take the 10-foot Anderson lead that Off-Grid Trek can provide you with, and you plug it into the blanket, and then you can lay the blanket 10, 20, 30 feet away from the vehicle so you can park in the shade and still draw sun without overheating the truck. Do you see what I'm saying? It's exactly what I do. And this 300-watt blanket is 100 entire watts more than the 2 panels that I have mounted to the top of my truck. And you can tell, it just absolutely blows it away. And when you fold it up, it's the size of a record, an LP, an album cover. Remember that? Remember those? It's like carrying a stack of them. It weighs 13 pounds total. Now again, I'm not a spec guy. I'm doing this video because if you want hands down, balls to the wall, best solar panel gear available, hook up with Rene. I have absolutely no affiliation with him other than I know him and I use his products. I try to run the best stuff possible on my vehicle, and Off-Grid Trek is the best stuff possible. Now take a look at this particular, he just came out with the brand new solar controller and it is badass, but I'm going to let him explain it.
Hey guys, Rennie here with Off-Grid Trek. I just want to go over quickly our brand new solar charge controller for a 300 watt solar bug-out kit. I want to show you how you can change between 2 different battery chemistries using the app that we offer as well too. So first off, all you're going to do, doesn't matter the battery, but I'm just going to connect here to the lithium battery. It is fully charged, so we're not going to connect solar to this one. So you connect positive to positive, negative, negative. The solar charge controller is labeled. It does say battery, so I know that's being connected there. So there is a screen that's going to show you the voltage and what have you, but we're going to focus on the app, which is Charge Pro 2.0. So here, I have just connected. It's now still seeing the old battery that was connected. So what I do is, as soon as I get in there, I go to the Bluetooth icon, which is the top right. It's going to find any Bluetooth device around, but I'm looking for PV Charge Pro. So let's connect to that guy right there. Okay, I've connected. It automatically sees this battery's at 100%. So now we're going to go to parameter settings, and you got to hit locked to unlock. And this is where you can change between all of the battery chemistries. So we're going to go lithium, because that's what that is. Depending on your voltage, you can go 12, 24, 36, or 48 volts. So you do that there, and then you confirm. Traditionally, it's going to be 12 volts for most. You go to real-time monitoring, we're already at 100%, but it shows you that. So now let me disconnect, and I'm going to now connect to this AGM battery here, okay? So bear with me a second. So same thing, positive to positive, negative to negative for here. You want to detect the battery first. So what I'm going to do is open, close, because it's going to still think it's connected to the correct battery. So I'm going to disconnect, hit connect again. Give it a second. I don't think it did. Okay, there we go. We're at 11.8 volts there, guys. So now I go to parameter settings again. I unlock. I go to the battery type. Let's select AGM, confirm. And then we go to real-time settings there. So while that's doing that, I'm going to connect our 300 watt solar blanket, because this one could take a charge. So let me just connect that so we actually get a little bit of power going in. Won't be a lot because we just had a huge amount of rain coming down and we still have heavy clouds above us, but because of the efficiency rating of our solar blankets, there we go. We got 1.6 amps, just under 19 watts going in, which is really good for the cloud cover that we have and the time of day, because we're at almost 3 p.m. here. And by the way, guys, when we film this right now, we are September or October, what is it, 11th, and we're at 51 degrees north latitude. So it's not like we have the sun directly above us this time of year. So that's it right there. That's how you connect these, guys. So I'm going to have links to this in the description below if you want to order any of these. I will be adding just the solar charge controller, this MPPT solar charge controller, right to the website on its own as well too. Other than that, any questions, reach out to me. My name's Rennie. I'm the owner of the company. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. And yeah, it's if you're wanting a custom package, we do have stock. We have everything available in warehouses in the US for our US customers for their solar generators or power stations. And all of our solar blankets do ship from Canada. We have a lot available. I made sure to have that ready based on our current supply chain where it's at right now. Like I said, any questions, let me know. Other than that, everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye then.
He's such a nice guy, it freaks me out. I'm from Boston. People aren't friendly. People are sarcastic, rude assholes for the most part. He's genuinely a nice guy. It's amazing to me. At any rate, if you want to check out this gear, it's the only gear I carry. I would be giving away one, but the one that he gave me, the 300, I gave away the 200 to Justin over at Redline. So it is what it is. But if you want to get your own gear, if you're not messing around, if you want to bet your life on off-grid stuff, hook up with Off-Grid Trek. I'll leave links to his website and links to his YouTube channel and Instagram down below. He's the man. He is the man indeed. Now, for those occasions when you need power but there's no sun, I've also made a very exhaustive video that covers all of those, and I'm going to show that to you right now because there are definitely ways to make power when you don't have any sun. And over the years, I've brought you on adventures with me where I am in very remote locations and I am utterly alone. I do this all the time. If I run into an obstacle, I need to deal with it one way or the other, no matter where I'm at. But I've done a lot of research over the years to figure out how to handle situations like this, and I've tried to make videos sharing this information with you guys. Whether it's an escape and evade bag, whether it's a medical kit, a bug out bag, or just things that you need to keep in your vehicle if you're going to attempt to go off-grid, off-road, overland, etc. Well, one of my favorite things is solar, because what's better than getting electricity simply by laying a panel outside and gathering it in some sort of a power pack? I love this stuff. It's beautiful. And I have a lot of solar. The only problem is, in this day and age, and especially where I'm from, solar only works if you've got sun. So in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to make power, whether you've got power, whether you've got solar or not. And today, once again, we're in my kitchen. And you're looking at a whole bunch of different electronic devices that I've used over the years. And specifically, solar panels. I love solar panels. I have a lot of things that run on batteries. So over the years, and I'm talking the last 12 years, I've tried every type of solar panel possibly made. And I basically settled on Off-Grid Trek because Renee makes these things for the military to military specifications, and these things work amazingly. I've got this 24 watt unit. I've also got a 200 watt solar blanket in my truck you've probably seen before. And like I said, I've had every type of solar panel there is. That's a Renogy 100 watt folding glass solar panel. And then this is a 200 watt Merlin solar panel. This is big money. And solar's amazing because I make videos. I live out of my 97 Land Cruiser. I have laptops, batteries, flashlights, cameras, refrigerators, all sorts of things I need to keep charged. And solar is the way to go. But solar doesn't work when there's no sun. For instance, I live in New England. I got off the road November 7th, and I've probably seen the sun. Today is December 11th. I've probably seen the sun maybe twice. We have solar lights going around my house, and they don't come on at night because there's no sun to charge them. So solar panels are amazing. They're great. If there's no power, the power goes out, you've got solar. But if you don't have any sun, what do? Okay, so here we go. There's a ton of different ways to store energy once you get it from the sun or whatever method you're using. Goal Zero has been around forever, and they make a variety of different types of energy storage devices. You fill this with electricity, you save it for a rainy day. They make them so that you can literally just set your cell phone on top of it and it'll charge. It comes with Thunderbolt charge outlets as well as USB chargers. They've even got versions like this one right here that has your standard USB, it has your standard Thunderbolt, but then it's also got an actual wall plug built into it. Now this doesn't last all that long. This will give you a decent charge on your laptop or some other device. It'll charge your cell phone several times, blah, blah, blah. Good to go. Now one that I'm incredibly fond of, and I don't even know if you can get these anymore. This particular unit is made by a company called Zero Lemon, and I've had this for years and years and years. It takes about 6 to 7 hours to charge this off of a wall plug. But this thing will charge lights, cell phones, anything that you can charge off USB, this thing will charge it, and they never seem to die. But sadly, they're difficult to get. After making this video, I found a link where you can actually pick these up for 42 bucks. So I'll leave that link below. These are well worth it. And it also comes with its own built-in solar panel as well as a light on the back. Now I'll leave links to everything here if you're so inclined to want to pick them up or whatever. But the methods for saving electricity once you generate it are endless. I have a larger unit like this in my truck. It's a lithium power pack made by EcoFlow. I like EcoFlow a hell of a lot better than Goal Zero, but I happen to have this little unit, so it is what it is. This is the unit that I have in my truck. This thing charges incredibly fast and it lasts for days, powering my laptops. And my laptops are energy consuming Razer Blade Pro 17s, so this thing works. This company, Lion Energy, used to work with a company called Humless. Humless made lithium power packs, and I had them back in the day, but they never seemed to work. They always seemed to have an issue, blah, blah, blah. But Lion Energy offers power packs like this. It's got a wall plug built into it, an AC plug. It's also got USBs on the side and a charging port for a 12-volt plug. Like this guy right here. You see what I'm saying? So again, methods to store electricity once you've generated it are pretty much endless. All of these will take a charge from solar, which is phenomenal. All of these things I use. This I don't really use. It sits in my drone Pelican case as a backup to charge my drones if I so need them. These, I use these constantly. Absolutely constantly, and I've never worn them down. Goal Zeros are good, but they don't seem to put out as much energy as EcoFlow does. It is what it is. So check this out. There's also other ways to have power when there's no sun, there's no electricity, the grid's down, whatever. You can get these things from a company called, my glasses on, Charge Tab. And it's an emergency cell phone charger. This little sealed pouch will give you, allegedly, 1,500 milliamps, enough to charge your cell phone once or twice. And then there's another edition made by a company called BioLite. And it's this little, it looks like something you might want to sneak into prison the way it's shaped. But this is just basically an 18650 battery inside an indestructible tube with a USB outlet and a micro USB inlet. Tons of ways to store electricity once you've created it. And as you can see, I mean, this is how this wasn't set up for this video. This is how my island looks anyway. Goal Zero, Goal Zero. 500 amp hour batteries, 18650s, Surefires. We live in a world where everything runs on batteries, and what I do, I need batteries for everything you're watching right now. You see what I'm saying? So, years and years ago, I got this from a company called Sherpa, and you can see it's been well loved. You see what I'm saying? And it's a flashlight. And it's not a very bright flashlight, but what I loved about this was, you see all those hand crank ones you can get online. The emergency flashlight, I guess this doesn't shut off. The emergency flashlights or the emergency radio, well, the hand crank on them sucks. This Sherpa has an amazing hand crank, but all it does is power this really weak flashlight, and the company that makes this is called Free Play. Trying to find anything from them is next to impossible. But this is called a DC dynamo charger. This creates a DC current, a direct current, and then you can transform it into an alternating current, which is what I do. Now this is pretty much good for nothing except making this really dim flashlight work. But again, I've had it for years. I used to make bug-out bags. I'd always include one because it's perpetual. You've always got juice. So there is that. But years ago, when I was in the military, we had these bad boys for powering comms, communications, radios. Now this is a serious dynamo. You can get these on Amazon or wherever, and they're about 169 bucks. And they come with all the connections you possibly need. And after researching all the different types of handheld dynamos available, this was the best one that I could find. And when it arrived, I was pleasantly surprised at how well built this particular item is. So there's that. With this hand crank, as long as you crank it, you can produce energy. You can sit here for hours and hours and hours and charge any one of these things all the way to full. It's just a matter of putting the energy into it, no pun intended. But these things, this is made by Vivor, I believe. Again, I'll leave a link. It was about $169. It comes with everything you need. You can adjust how much energy comes out of it for the device that you're using. But this is an incredibly well-built unit, and it's small. This is very small. I mean, this is the size of a good-sized pack of cigarettes, if people still use those. But this will create electricity that will charge this, and even this. This will actually charge a regular vehicle battery. It's just a matter of how long you're going to sit there and crank this handle, but it will do that. I'm telling you that because I've done that. It takes a long time, but it's doable. And when you've got no other option, there you go. Years ago, a company named K-Tor came out with this, and it was called the Pocket Socket. It still is called the Pocket Socket. Now, the company K-Tor is still around. They're still creating human-powered generators. They've got the pedal version, the hand crank version, and you can make these on your own, but these are already pre-made, ready to go, and they come with everything you need in the box already. And I have no affiliation. So before I show you how these pre-made K-Tor energy producing devices operate, I'm going to show you a bunch of links where you can get these much heavier duty units, but they're from China and they take a long time, and who knows how well they're made or not made. And I'm also going to leave you links on how to make your own generator using a bicycle. It's incredibly easy to do if you've got the time. Some of them require a little bit of welding, some of them don't require any welding. You can bolt it all together, etc. But there's lots of ways to produce energy when A, you have no electricity, B, you have no solar, or C, the grid's down completely. Department of Homeland Security every single year, twice, issues a warning about an EMP attack or an EMP from the sun or something to that effect. So having one of these is smart. It's not being paranoid. It's not being a quote-unquote prepper. But the variety of ways you can make your own power generating unit are pretty much endless. What I'm going to show you in the video are units that you can get that are already pre-made, so you don't have to go through it, or maybe you don't have the tools or the time to do it. If I had more time and I wasn't working on my vehicle constantly, perpetually, I would have built one of these. So I'm going to show you what I've got to make energy today. Okay, so check this out. This pocket socket can easily charge any of these guys. Any of these. So let's start with the tough one right here. This has a power pack with it And it takes a pretty, you know, I mean, this is made for a wall outlet. Now check this out. I need to turn this so I can see it too, but this isn't the best feeling, but this will absolutely, without a doubt, charge this. It's just a matter of you sitting here. Now you could fasten this, you could clamp this to a table to make it much more stable and just keep turning it and it will absolutely do its job. Now this is an old version. I've had this for probably 10 years. The one that they sell now, KTOR, I'll leave links, no affiliation, I'll leave links to them. The one they sell now no longer has the outlet. It's just a USB outlet or a 12 volt, one of the two. I don't remember. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. But I'll tell you what, I've had this for a long time. I've carried this for a long time. It's not awesome, but it will without a doubt charge this, a truck battery, or even the EcoFlow big boy I got in my truck. I forget the exact nomenclature on it. This cost about $70 if memory serves, and it works really well. This is $160. They do the same job. This does not have an outlet. This does, but this has a much better feel to it. But this is pretty much military grade. It's just got a better feel to it, and that's all. No big deal. So I'm not putting KTOR down or anything like that. This, in a pinch, you just plug right in. No fooling around, no two ways about it. This will charge all of these. This will charge all of these. But KTOR also made this bad Larry. Now there's a bunch of different versions of hand crank, handmade dynamos that you can make yourself. But believe it or not, for me, it's just easier because I got enough going on in my life. I'm building enough things, just constantly maintaining my vehicle and everything else that I do. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody's already got this built for me, so much the better. But I will leave links below so you can go to channels where you can take an alternator and build your own setup like this. Now, once again, years ago when this first came out, I don't know what the deal is. This is made by the same company. This used to have an outlet on it. It no longer does. It now has a 12 volt socket on it. And they supply you with this. So you can just plug right in. You can take these two, positive and negative, put them on a battery, which in turn can charge everything else. Or you can take this guy, which they also supply, plug it right into the 12 volt, and charge your, I don't like how that feels. This is a cheap one, but I mean, where are you going to get a well-made unit like this? Everything is Hensho in China, except for this, I believe. You plug this in. Now this is something, I mean, this is something you're supposed to sit down and pedal. Right off the bat, it's making 14. Now, I wouldn't pedal this necessarily, but you can. You can fasten this to the floor, you could put a nail through it, fasten it someplace, and just sit there and pedal till your heart's content. And this creates enough juice where you can quickly charge one of these, a truck battery, or you can hook an inverter straight up to this. A 12 volt inverter with plugs in it, plug things in and charge all sorts of things, because this does feel good. This feels just like this military version, and they're made by the same company. This might feel a little weak because I've had it for so long, but it might not feel weak to you. I don't know. So out of total curiosity, I hooked up the KTOR PowerBox 50 to straight up to a 700 watt pure wave sine inverter, and I wanted to see if it could power this thing, which means all three green lights will come on. If it created enough power to actually drive this thing without a 12 volt battery in between. And as you can see by the lights, if you crank it enough, it does it. So this right now is producing straight up electricity out of that inverter with no battery involved at all. That's not how you do it, but I wanted to see. Now this is how you do it. You take a 12-volt battery, you hook up to the K-Tor box or any of the generators. You take the red and the black leads that they come with, you hook it up to the positive and negative on the battery, and then you take a cable from the positive and the negative and you run it to an inverter. Now you have the battery storing any electricity you're creating with the K-Tor, and it's providing constant, steady power to the inverter. And voila, viola, you've got electricity. Any one of the units that I showed you, the small units that have a hand crank, will power up this battery. The one that I'm showing you now will power it up the most efficiently. And again, you can make any type of variation of this off of the veritable cornucopia of how-to videos and diagrams available on the internet, which I will link below. If I had more time and I wasn't fixing my vehicle for another road trip, hopefully, I would have made one. But again, time was not on my side. But that, in a nutshell, is some of the ways that if you've got no solar, if you've got no power, these things will save your butt, because you can, without a doubt, create DC voltage, which you can turn into AC voltage, direct current to alternating current, and you're good to go. This little guy is not very expensive at all. They're on Amazon, or you can buy them directly from K-Tor's website, which I'll leave links below. Again, no affiliation. I've carried this for years. They work really well. These I highly recommend because this is very, very portable, but this is good for your homestead, etc. And again, you can make your own version of this with a broke down bicycle, an alternator, and a little bit of skills. Or you can get it pre-packaged. It comes in the box. Everything you need is already in there, and it's good to go. I've been home since early November. I've seen the sun twice. Every single day. It's not like New England, it's like England. If you don't have any electricity, if you don't have any solar, your solar panels are useless. I've got a solar panel permanently affixed to the top of my truck. It's great as long as there's juice or sun. So these are some methods, and these are really good to have because it's energy that is stored, and when you need it, you've got it. For so very many different reasons. These right here can be a lifesaver. This is a very small unit. I've just got it in. I don't even know why I even have this. I have no idea how I even got it, to be perfectly honest with you, but there it is. That'll charge a laptop, maybe twice. I'm not exactly sure. But the unit that I have in my truck will keep my Razor Blade Pro 17s, which are monsters for editing, but they eat battery like you read about, which is why I have a separate lithium power pack in my truck, simply to charge my laptops when I'm on the road, because they eat so much juice. They'll kill my batteries while I'm parked overnight. So that's how I get around it. But these are some incredibly smart things to have. If I was going to pick one, if you are not mobile, this is the one to have in your house, because this will create a large amount of electricity. You can pedal or you can hand crank it. If you're mobile, this is definitely the one to go, because this thing is a beast. $169, it took a little bit to get here, but it definitely works well. They give you everything you need to hook it up to pretty much everything you'd ever need to hook it up to. It's incredibly well constructed. They claim that it's waterproof, and it's got a band right here so that you can actually strap it to your hand, so it's, you know, it's sturdy. But long story longer, trying to keep this video short. Solar is amazing. 12 volt is our lives. I mean, look at the batteries. Are you kidding me? All of this stuff is great with solar, unless you've got no sun. Having one of these backups is not only smart, it could absolutely, without a doubt, save your life. Now, I've covered a lot of bases in this video, and this video is getting incredibly long. But one more thing I want to put in is 10 cheap must-have things that you can just pick up anywhere. Things that you want to have on hand that you just may not think of. So here it is. Okay, the first thing, again, is toilet paper. I showed you toilet paper. Everyone needs to use toilet paper. And I showed you what the alternatives were. trees, branches, etc. Well, it turns out that apparently sponges are the way to go, and sponges have been used since the Roman days. You can carry sponges and then clean them out using running water, etc. Some way. It's a hell of a lot easier than toilet paper or just, baby wipes. These things are reusable and they're fairly sustainable, and it's also a good item to have to trade if you have to. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's the number one thing instead of toilet paper: sponges. Now, everybody sent me this one, and it stands to reason. Alcohol in an emergency situation, it isn't quite easy to carry in a backpack, but it will be worth its weight in gold. People will want to be escaping reality in a world without rule of law, shit hits the fan type scenario, bug out scenario. Alcohol is something you can get incredibly cheap and abundantly, absolutely everywhere. And again, it will be worth its weight in gold, and it can be used as an anesthetic also. So there's that. Now this one right here, I carry this in my pocket. I have this in my backpack. I have this in my man purse. I have this in my truck. Chapstick does a lot of things other than just keeping your lips from getting chapped, which if it does happen, it sucks. But there's multiple uses for chapstick. Chapped lips, chapped hands, stops small cuts from bleeding, protects your skin from the cold, from the sun, prevents blisters, reduces glares. Use it on tinder. You can use it to make a candle, lubricate your bow drill, lubricate threads, lubricate nuts, screws, your pocket knife, protect leather, clean glasses, take off a ring, hide cash, and you can also even make a tiny survival kit. Now this one most people won't even think of, but think about this. Children will be involved. So baby formula, diapers, etc., all that stuff, if people aren't prepared, they're going to be completely shit out of luck. Seriously. And the other thing too is if you don't have children, you really wouldn't have a reason to have this stuff around. But if you know people that are going to be coming to you when the shit hits the fan, this is good stuff to keep around. Baby formula can be used to rehydrate somebody. And there's also other uses for diapers. You can use them for bandages, ice packs. If you have horses, which a lot of people in shit hit the fan scenarios will, you can treat hoof issues with it. Shoe padding, insoles, and you can also make cooling towels out of them, which if you live in the desert, you'll understand. Water filtration, I'm not too sure about that. Okay, this one is something that I also carry religiously. A Write in the Rain pen, pencil, and a notepad. This notepad has the ability to get wet and you can still use it. Being able to leave a note might save somebody's life. It's going to be unbelievably important. Also, here's another use for a pencil. Suppose you have absolutely everything's gone horribly wrong, but you still have electricity. You simply take a pencil, you get the lead out of it, break it into 3 small pieces, wrap it up in a piece of toilet paper like this guy's showing. This is the Third World Prepper YouTube channel. Third World Prepper. This is a good tip, but normally if shit has hit the fan, you won't have electricity, but still, he's showing you how you make a lighter in jail, basically, because I've done this. Take a piece of lead, you stick it in each socket very carefully, don't touch them. And then you take the piece of lead that's wrapped in the toilet paper, like so. You hold it up to the other 2, you hit it, it will spark. It will definitely spark. And when it does, you will have fire. Third World Prepper YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now this next one is important, and you can get these at Patriot Pantry. These are Patriot Pantry heirloom seeds. These things are legit. They're not genetically modified. They have absolutely no affiliation with Monsanto whatsoever at all, and they come in an airtight, watertight tin container. You don't see stuff like that anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? These would be absolutely invaluable for trading. And long term, especially for you guys that are in Canada, you're in other countries where there's a more rural area, rainforest, etc. This stuff will help you to sustain yourself in as little as like 30 days or so. You know what I mean? However long it takes for the seeds to germinate, etc. But they're definitely good to have, and they're going to be a high value trading commodity. So get them or don't, your call. Now the next one I talk about all the time, and it's solar panels. I'm showing you the off-grid Trek solar panels that we actually took out and tested side by side with Goal Zero, and they blew them away. They're expensive, but if you can afford them, you can't afford not to have them because they will actually charge. A cheaper version is the Goal Zero setup, but that's basically made for hikers and backpackers. It's not made forever, and they will not charge batteries up in a timely fashion. You'll be waiting days if you even have sun. Like I said, if it's all you're ever going to have, get the best you can possibly afford. You can see it coming, and so can I. And panels like this actually draw power even when the sun is dim, which is something that we experience all the time. Am I wrong? At any rate, moving on to the next item. And the next thing, and I mean, I think most of you guys already understand this, I carry a flashlight on me at all times, no matter what. Get the best flashlight that you can possibly afford. This is a flashlight made by Olight. It runs on an 18650 battery, which I can charge with solar panels. In an emergency, I can charge with solar panels. It takes a while because it's a big battery. But these flashlights are waterproof, shock resistant. If it's the last thing that you have and you're in a bug-out situation, get the best flashlight that you can possibly afford. Do you see what I'm saying? But a $20 flashlight that you put in a case and take care of and doesn't get damaged and you have good batteries for will probably work too. But here's the deal. I have flashlights. I have lots of flashlights because if I need it to work, and that's that. So it's one of the things that you don't want to skimp on. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of cash, but it is what it is. If you're getting prepared, if you're trying to prepare now while you can get things. And if it's going to be the last thing that you can ever get the best that you can possibly afford. It's all there is to it. So, moving on. Rechargeable batteries. They're cheap, they're easy to get. You can get them with a wall plug charger. Just make sure that you have batteries to cover whatever devices that you have. And try to stick with simple batteries. AAA and AA and 18650. All of those can be charged effectively from a solar panel, and I can tell you that from real world. Now this one's easy, and this was the number one comment I got from people or email. It's marijuana. Marijuana, over-the-counter drugs, or if you live in an urban area, whatever type of drugs you happen to know are popular, because when the shit hits the fan, all the medicated people, whether it's legal or not in the United States, are going to be freaking out, which is going to make them dangerous and desperate. Everybody smokes pot. I don't, but a lot of people smoke pot. It's legal in most places in the United States. Do you know what I mean? It's legal in Massachusetts, Colorado, California. I put a whole map up here, actually, so you can check that out for yourself. But it's legal in many places for recreational use, and it's also legal for medicinal use. So things like this will be unbelievably valuable bartering agents. If you can get it now inexpensively, get it now. Just don't get yourself, don't break any laws, but you see what I'm saying. This stuff is going to be absolutely invaluable. No two ways about it. Now, chances are you already saw the entire video I did on the cheapest water filtration device. A lot of people sent me emails and comments about the LifeStraw. The LifeStraw is a good, easy, portable device, but it doesn't last all that long, and it's $20. Sure, you can carry a bunch of them, but I use the Sawyer water filter. This thing will do almost 1 million gallons, and it comes, for $20, it comes with a device that you need to flush it out. It gets out 99.9999% of all bacteria and everything else out of the water. These things are incredibly compact, incredibly rugged, and I've used one for over 10 years. These things are the bomb, and they're made in the USA. I still like to trust things that are made in the USA, and it's only $20. You've seen me use these and beat the hell out of them all over the United States. They work. Now this one is kind of a no-brainer, but to some people they wouldn't even think of it. But you can buy ammunition pretty much anywhere right now. It isn't incredibly cheap, but it's as cheap as it's ever going to be. Ammunition will be another thing that will be worth its weight in gold, and people will need it, and they'll probably trade you anything for it. The most common will be 9mm, 40 caliber, 7x6.2, and 5x5.6 NATO. Sadly, when the shit hits the fan, when we're in a world without rule of law, you will need ammunition. And like I said, even in Massachusetts, you can still get it anywhere. And Massachusetts is just like another California stand. It's a suck place to live if you enjoy being an American, but you can still pretty much get ammunition anywhere. Most states, you can get it in a general store. So get it while you can. The last thing I'm going to cover in this video, because we're going to go way over 2 hours, is first aid. First aid is going to be very important. I'm going to show you a pre-made first aid kit that I get from a company called AMP3. Everything's made in America. These people are YouTubers as well as an emergency room doctor. Everything is made in the United States. And if you can't afford to get this particular setup, you can at least see what this setup includes so you can pick it up as you go. But I would say right now, time is of the essence. And that's all I got. And I'm talking about first aid, but I'm talking about serious first aid, real world first aid. For instance, if you've known me or followed me for any length of time, you know that I'm into this stuff. I always have it. You never know. There's a lot of these first aid kits that are available by Adventure Medical Kits. The trauma packs, which are $25. Everything you need in one package for one incident. For instance, $25, they give you rubber gloves, a short piece of duct tape, a roll of gauze, more triangular bandage gauze, instructions, which are good, non-woven sponges ×2, a few sterile packs, alcohol swabs, instructions on how to make a tourniquet and how to dress a wound, and quick clot. So that's not too bad, but it's a one-shot deal, and if you don't do it right the first time, it's all you got. Or God forbid you're someplace where you need to change the dressing and you can't. So these are good. I take these with me on my mountain bike, etc. Places where I don't want to carry a big pack, or where I'm just me. I'm not in a vehicle, I'm not mobile, I'm not at a location. I'm moving around, walking, hiking, or mountain biking. One of the three. This is a great setup. So let's put this here. Now for $42 from Adventure Medical Kits, you can get the Pro Pack. Professional. Trauma Pack Pro. It comes in this nice little container right here with Velcro, 2 belt loops. You whip it open, and it's actually even less than the Trauma Pack itself, because you're paying for this little pouch. And I'm not saying it's a bad deal. It's a good deal. $40. They give you a combine pad. I think it's 4x5. Quick clot to stop the bleeding. It works, but it's like pouring gunpowder. You get rubber gloves again, short roll of duct tape, instructions, and a SWAT tourniquet. And there you go. There's your Pro Pack. First responders, firemen, EMTs, police officers, etc. And that's not too bad. But again, it's a one-shot deal. And if you have to change the dressing, you're out of luck. Trauma, blood, wounds at the time of impact, if you are panicking or somebody else is doing it and you don't know what you're doing, you may need to do it twice. So enter the larger setup. You get these on Amazon for $100. They give it to you in a nice Molly pouch, made in China, but you know, it is what it is. This was $100 even on Amazon. And you open it up, and there you go. There's your core. Comes with a trauma pack. It comes with a variation of the SAM splint. This is a foldable splint. You can put it on your arm, your leg, or anything, and you tape it off. Good to go. Emergency triangular bandage, which can also be used as a sling. You get a much better cat tourniquet right here. And an Israeli bandage. Now, if you don't know what an Israeli bandage is, this opens up. It's for a gunshot or a heavy gushing wound. This opens up and it actually has ace bandage type stuff built onto it so you can strap it on. There you go. And it comes with quick clot. And it comes with medical shears and a high fin vent, a chest seal, gunshot, stabbing, something to the chest, entry, exit wound type stuff right here. But once again, for $100, it's a one-shot deal. No pun intended. You know, chest seals, gunshot, one shot. At any rate, the beauty of my channel is I buy this stuff. They don't give it to me, so I can tell you whether it is or whether it ain't. This, for $100 in today's world, it's legit. It's what you get. $100, one-shot deal. Well, then we'll move on to the legit stuff. This is from AMP3. These guys have been on YouTube since 2011. He's a practicing ER physician in the Pacific Northwest, Dave and Beth Pruitt. And I've dealt with them for a long, long time, and they're great people. If you've followed me, you've seen one of these in my truck. I've given a few of these away. We'll get into that. That's the AMP3 Outfitter. But this is the blood stop kit. Now look at this. $100. This is $200. This is a one-shot deal, made in China. This is a numerous application setup, and even the bag is made in America. This is going to be phenomenal. This is their range medic. Now look what's inside. First of all, you start with an entire blood stopper kit, okay? Everything you need is in a waterproof, heavy gauge Ziploc bag. Everything is written right out on the back. Everything. That's one module. You also have in here a complete individual first aid kit. So this, but better, and a complete blood stop kit in here. And that's not all. There's more. I love these bags, just to tell you the truth. I believe they're made in Colorado. But the Range Medic, this is badass stuff. These guys really care, and it's a mom and pop made in America shop. And this stuff right here, I paid for all this. I do have an affiliation. I've known them, I've followed them, we know each other. But I still pay them for their products. The one time she gave me a couple of things, I gave them away to subscribers. But look inside here. Everything is labeled right there. Everything that's in this package. There's a Halo chest seal, just like there was in there. Black nitrile gloves, a pair. Duct tape, safety pins, antimicrobial wipes, ×2. Operator casualty treatment card, 9-line injury code, and an evac request. This is legit stuff. This is the kind of stuff that when you get injured, after you take care of somebody, you call in the troops, you can write down all the pertinent things that you're going to forget when they show up. Mini pencil with protective cap and a lock sack storage bag. I love these guys. And personal medical information card ×2. All in here, nice and neat in a legit bag, and nothing in here. Well, you know what? Let's do this. They don't skimp on anything. I mean, come on, will ya? This is a lock sack. This bag right here on its own can serve numerous purposes, and they're like $5 a piece. I'm trying not to rip them because I like stuff like this. Okay, there's your antimicrobial wipes. It's not two little alcohol prep pads. It's a whole package of hoo-ahs. These are, you know those dude wipes they sell for like $12? These blow them away by a mile, and they give you an entire package. And then That's a Halo chest seal. You see what I'm saying? That is totally, completely legit. That's what's in the chest seal module of this. $200. That's $100. That's a first aid kit. That's a first aid kit. And then everything else is basically, I just love this crap. And like I said, the world we live in right now, you never know what's going to happen, man. I carry enough first aid material to treat a platoon because who knows what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? In this lifetime, I've had the ability to save 3 people from dying, save their lives straight up because I was prepared. One happened right down the street from my house. At any rate, enough of how amazing I am. I'm just kidding. Okay, the individual first aid kit is in a lock sack. Again, these are like $5. They give you a tool module that's completely labeled, a splinter out kit, safety pins, folding razor knife, mini utility scissors, precision tip tweezers, mini pencil and cap, antimicrobial wipes, alcohol pads, and duct tape, all in this little pouch. And that's legit. This is all good stuff. These are all legit little tools. These aren't all Hencho in China. They don't go that route. You got your individual first aid medication module, and these are good to go. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, diphenhydramine, and meclizine for nausea, vomiting, and dizziness. And the beauty thing about this is it's labeled so you can replenish it as you need to, as you use them. There's also an irrigation module in case you happen to get something in your eyeball. And they tell you how to use it right here on the package like everything else. I mean, this is beautiful stuff. 2 packs of actual rubber gloves that you can put on and they won't rip as soon as you put them on your hand like the little lovely blue ones that come with everything else. Inside, you got wound care module number 3. There's a transparent dressing, a butterfly dressing, skin tape package, antibiotic ointment, and sting relief pack, lidocaine. Everything is labeled. Everything is packaged individually. You know how much time and effort it takes for these two to put all this stuff in its own little package? But when the shit hits the fan, when things are getting ugly and you're trying to pull stuff out, things aren't flying in all directions, landing in the mud, landing in blood, God forbid. Do you see what I'm saying? This stuff really, really makes a difference. Wound care module, 5x9 trauma pad, 4x4 gauze pad, non-adherent pad, and oval moleskin. Nobody gives you moleskin in an individual first aid kit except these guys. Face shield. Real moleskin. Not from a real mole, but I mean it's the brand name. The SOF mist report. For all you EMTs and veterans, you know what that is. Non-adherent dressing, combine pad, and gauze sponges. 3 of them. And again, everything is listed right here so you can keep your IFAC in good working order. The reason I just got this is I had this in my truck. I had 2 of them. I gave them away to a couple in Idaho and to another couple in Colorado. And I also got one for a buddy of mine, Mike Decker, out in Wyoming. Because I worry about Mike. He's always up there climbing on mountains and cliffs. I don't want him to get a splinter or poke his eye out. So Mike Decker has one of these. Because that's how we roll. And then, safety pins. Did I read this? I did. Also, this is all still in the same bag. The one same bag. It costs twice as much as this, and it gives you 10 times the amount. This is the blood stopper kit. This is the serious kit. Somebody just accidentally cut an artery. I've done it before. Not on my wrist. It was on my hand, but I still hit an artery. Blood stopper kit has everything. SWAT T tourniquet, 4-inch Israeli dressing bandage, quick clot, EMS rolled gauze. Quick clot rolled gauze is not free. Huaz field. There's another pack of these in here. That is so awesome. It makes me want to dig a cat hole right now. Safety pins, nitrile gloves, antimicrobial, mini pencil, operator casualty card, lock-set, element proof. Now there's a little bit of redundancy because this is the entire range medic kit, which has 3 separate kits all in one, which is why I got it, because it's the best deal. Besides this bad boy, but we ain't even got to that yet. Again, inside a $4 lock sack, all right, there's EMS rolled gauze, blood, quick clot. If you've ever cut yourself or had somebody put a hole in you and you got to fill it with quick clot, oh my God, it's like being married 10 times over all in 1 minute. It hurts so bad, but it works. The gauze actually is a little lighter because you're wrapping it and you're not dumping it right in the wound. So it's better. Again, nitrile gloves, duct tape, safety pins, antimicrobial. You're getting redundant things in these because these are 3 separate modules, but it's good to have. Another combine pad. This is 1 kit. 2 packages. This will last me an entire 2-month road trip. Combine pad, SWAT tourniquet, and Israeli bandage. All of that comes in just this little bag. Costs twice as much as this. You get 10 times the amount. It's all assembled and made in the United States by YouTubers that have been on YouTube as long as I have. And the doc is a practicing ER physician in the Pacific Northwest. And his wife, Beth, is phenomenal. So there's that. Let me take a break before I break into this big guy. So once again, let me remind you, I have no affiliation with these guys other than the fact that they make the best first aid kit that money can buy. I've bought them from absolutely everybody on Instagram, on the internet, off of YouTube. And none of them even come close to this. Period. There's no 2 ways about it. I don't care who you're talking about. So I'm going to leave links here. You can mention that I referred you, but it doesn't make any difference. I'm doing this because I believe in this gear, and these are Americans, and I want to support them. It's very rare that you run into somebody that goes out of their way to make everything made in America. And these guys do. And that's admirable. So I support them, and you should too. Or don't. Every video I've ever shown of my truck, you can see AMP3 Outfitter in there. Every time I reviewed a first aid kit, you can see AMP3 in the background. The stuff is legit. Okay, I just spent 15 minutes trying to fit all that stuff back into the package the way I got it, and I can't. There's so much gear in this pack, it's ridiculous. And that's a good setup for a vehicle, or if you travel with your wife and kids, something like that, it's a good setup. But I carry one of these on my passenger seats at all times. This comes in at $575 for this first aid kit. And this is the AMP3 Outfitter. I think this is like my 5th. I've given away 3 of them, 2 to subscribers, 1 to my ex. There's 1 hanging in my truck, and now there's this one here. Again, this is all made in America. Beth and Dave make these specifically. Again, he's an ER physician practicing still. The bags are made in the United States, sewn and stitched. Everything is USA sourced if they possibly can. This is no joke. This, nice. This is 4 feet long, and it has everything in the world from a broken arm, gunshot, stabbing, splinter, ticks, something in your eye. It's insane how much gear is in here. And if you travel into the wilderness, up into the mountains, out into the desert like I do, this will help people out numerous times over. This is good if you have a large family, if you've got a large prepping group, survival group, off-road group, whatever. This has so much gear in it. I don't know how it's so cheap. That kit I showed you earlier was $100, and there's enough in there to take care of one person once. And when you're wounded, you don't just dress the wound once. You have to dress it, clean it, redress it, etc. With this, you can. I'm not going to pull all this out because I can't get it back in the bag. I don't know how. It's too hard. I mean, how come that won't fit back in there? I can't figure it out. I have an entire extra amount left over that I can't get in that little red bag. That's what these guys know how to do. At any rate, this in the outfitter, it has its own trauma module with quick clot, a SWAT bandage, 4-inch emergency dressing, which would be the Israeli bandage, as you can see right there, an abdominal pad, 2 pairs of gloves, and H&H primed gauze, and 2 rolls of 3-inch gauze, are in the trauma module. That is substantial. And the cool thing is, this is all reflective right here, and you can write on it. And the doc even hooks you up with a little clip light that goes right here. So if you hang this on the side of your truck like I do, at night there's a light that goes right down the center. And you can add to this, but I dare you to figure something else that's not already in here. All right, that's one module out of this. The second one is the PPE, which is personal protection equipment. It's got 6 pairs of gloves, a pack of Huaz field towels, antimicrobial wipes, and hand sanitizer gel. And there's a lot of it in here. I mean, that's substantial. I make no money from this. The only association I have is they're on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. They make these and I buy these. So there is that. This is the musculoskeletal module. It has a SAM splint. As you can see right here. The one I got for $100 comes with a knockoff version of this, but they're kind of the same. SAM splints are good because it gives you your measurements, and it's also emblazoned right on it what you do with it if you can't figure it out. These can contour around your arm. This can act as a splint if you happen to crack a femur, crack a shin bone. It happens. But that goes along with this. And I mean, look at this stuff. How beautiful is this? Ace bandage, SAM splint guide, H&H burn dressing, and combat cravat. Cravat guide. There's a cold pack, 3-inch ace wrap, and a 4-foot tube of gauze in here. Substantial. And there's the SAM splint guide. I mean, you can see all the different ways you can put this on. You can wrap it around your neck if you want, but this will do it. I carry one of these in my backpack, right where people put their water bladder. I have a SAM splint, and I also have one of these in my pack. And I shouldn't say fortunately, but usually it's me helping somebody else out who didn't bring first aid. It's so short-sighted. This isn't flashy. This isn't something you show off to your friends, etc. But it's detrimental. It's something you need to have if you're prepared or if you're going off into the wilderness by yourself. You need something like this. I've bought every single type of first aid kit, the ones that come in the Pelican cases, the ones that go underwater, the ones from Skinny Medic. I bought them from absolutely everybody, and they give you this for $100 or $150, and it doesn't even compare whatsoever at all. Just saying. That's the beauty of my channel. I buy the gear. If it's awesome, I'll tell you. If it sucks, I'll tell you that too. I ever mentioned MagnaFlow mufflers? Yeah. All right, at any rate, 4x4 gauze pads, non-adherent pad, moleskin, Xeroform gauze, 5x9 times 2. I don't even know what that is, but he's a doctor, and it's in there. It's like spaghetti sauce. It's in there. You know what I mean? I don't even know what it is, and I got it. Look at this entire module for us hikers. It's a blister treatment content kit. It's got a container of blister band, moleskin, duct tape, scissors, pause pads for your animal, sting pad relief, skin glue, benzoin, safety pins, and alcohol pads. All of them in a lock sack. These are high quality, serious freezer bags. Put it that way. All right. I love this bag, and sadly you can't get the bag without everything else. This is the administrative module. There's an RI, the Right in the Rain staple notebook, Right in the Rain, name brand, pencil and protective cap. There's a Sharpie in here, alcohol pads, operator casualty treatment card, 9-line evac, personal info, empty 2x3 Ziploc bags, empty 3x5 Ziploc bags. They think of everything. The more I yammer, the more my nose runs. Dude, this is the tool module. They give you an LED lamp, like I told you, and you can use that. It'll clip right in here. They give you a Fresnel lens for magnifying, reading small print, etc., or starting a fire. Utility scissors, mosquito forceps, precision tweezers, folding razor knife, splinter out, large nail clip, large safety pins ×4, and a sting scrape card. And a complete flashlight and energizer batteries and forceps. Come on, man. Come on. You ain't gonna get stuff like this. And you can't. I've tried. You cannot do it this well for less than $900. I don't know how they do it. I'm guessing because they buy in bulk. But you know me. I have no clue. At any rate, stand by. Okay, so I showed you the administrative and the tool bag. I mean, there's a Coast flashlight in there. It's beautiful because they cover all the bases for you. When you have this in your vehicle, in your house, in your camper, in your airplane, on your boat, you're good to go. And I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but these guys have been doing it forever. They don't make them look, well, actually, I can't even say that. They don't make them look badass. This is badass. And the roll is brilliant because it opens right up. You can see everything instead of having a box with stuff piled on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And everything being labeled and packaged inside its own package is phenomenal. Oh my God, my wife's bleeding. You open this up, you open the package, everything goes flying everywhere. It's junk, it's no good. It's no good. It's no good, you can't have it. At any rate. Irrigation module. So this is for your eyes. There's an emergency blanket in here. There's an eye wash station. There's saline solution. Povidone iodine pads inside here, and the irrigation tip and shield. You gotta love it. I told you, they cover everything. And this is the tape module. And yes, all right. Guess what's in this? In the tape module. This tape. A lot of duct tape. Emergency tape and doctor's tape, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Self-adherent wrap, 2 rolls of it. Adhesive tape, 2 rolls, and 1 roll of duct tape. Miscellaneous wound care module. You get steri strips, butterfly tape, Tegaderm. All right, stand by. You get steri tape, 2 packs, butterfly tape ×10, Tegaderm ×4, antibiotic ointment ×6, alcohol pads ×8, skin glue twice, and benzoin ×4. And again, I can't believe I'm opening this because I'm not going to be able to put it back together. That's why I keep buying new ones. I can't put the old ones back in the bag. Everything is packaged so you don't lose it. And when I say everything's packaged, everything's separate so you can get to exactly what you need. The amount of time, energy, effort that they put into this, plus the fact that they try to source everything in America, is amazing. This is $570. I'll buy this. Well, actually, I think it's my 5th one. Steri strips. These are like basically you cut yourself open, it'll hold you closed. Look at all the bandages. I mean, this is good stuff. Tegaderm film by 3M. You're not going to find that in any other first aid kit. Any high-end first aid kit gives you a bunch of bandages, an Israeli bandage, maybe a SAM splint, and they give you a tourniquet and send you on your way. Or maybe they throw an Adventure Medical Kit's trauma pack in there and call it a first aid kit. I mean, it's better than nothing, but when things go sideways, this is what you want. And it's the one thing that you'll buy. You buy once, cry once, kinda, because this is literally the equivalent of 5 to 6 first aid kits. I mean, high quality, serious first aid kits. These were made by a doctor, and you can tell. This is your medication module. 16 ibuprofen, 16 acetaminophen, 8 diphenhydramine, and 8 meclizine for vomiting, nausea, and dizziness. Nice. Now you've heard that before, but that was the other kit. This is a totally separate one. And this is the medication module number 2. You got 4 Sting Ease pads, 1 burn gel, which is 2% lidocaine, and Diamode, which is for diarrhea. I'll tell you what, in my wallet, I carry anti-diarrhea stuff because in any type of situation where you're out in the woods or out in the desert, out by yourself, you don't want diarrhea. That is real burn dressing. This isn't Hencho in China. I can't sing these guys' praises enough. And sadly, too many people go for the sexy Instagram first aid kits. And I have, and guess what? You're paying for a first aid, a picture of a first aid kit. These are utterly, totally, completely legit. Dude, I can't get that back in the package. I'm going to leave it. So that gets us all the way through there. That's everything. And then there's this. Because no first aid kit remembers this. He gives you 2 Grimlocks and paracord just to hang this. 2 Grimlocks. These aren't Hencho in China. These are legit. I mean, I can't even imagine. Maybe they steal it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they do. You know what? I bet you that's just what they're doing. They're stealing this and then they're packaging it. Because I don't know how they do it this cheap. Eye wash module specifically. Saline solution and the plastic cup, just like the doctor uses to cup your eye and wash it properly. So I've said this before in videos. When you're in the wilderness, if you can, wear sunglasses, because walking through the bushes, there's nothing like getting poked in the eye to take you out. It's something you don't think about till it happens, and wow, does it suck. All right, and this is the emergency care module with a CPR mask, nitrile gloves, aspirin, 10 glucose tabs, and 4 Benadryl. So if you start dehydrating, you are 5x5 good to go. Why do people always park in front of my house? And then this. No first aid kit gives you this. This is an entire dental kit. An entire dental kit. And it even explains tooth anatomy. You know, being a doctor and all. But this has ibuprofen, acetaminophen, 2 tea bags, dental wax, emery board, 2x2 gauze pad, 4 rolls of cotton rolls, 4 cotton swabs, 1 buffered saline, and that is about it. But dude, I mean, are you kidding me? I'm going to leave a link to their website. They have this. This is the big dog. This is everything you need in one thing. You're done. Do you have first aid? I am totally covered for me and 6 other people. Straight up. This right here, this will cover you for hunting, fishing, hiking, prepping, Civil War, who knows? But they've also got just the individual first aid kit, which I believe are like $70 or something like that. I'll leave links in the description box below the video, but it's definitely something you're going to want to check out. But I'm not bashing anybody. I got no hard feelings, but there isn't anybody else that makes a first aid kit this complete, this concise, this well thought out, because he's a doctor. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to tell you. I'm a little amped up. I've been awake since 4:30 because I've had some health issues. I got a rash on my arm. Nice, right? That's pretty, isn't it? I've been itching it. The last night was the first night where I actually slept through the night and didn't have to worry about waking up itching my arm. And I broke into one of my kits to get some Benadryl and some anti-itch stuff. This is amazing, though. The dental kit. Everything you need to know, for the most part, to deal with a toothache. Because a toothache, dude, That makes being married look like a great idea. You see what I'm saying? No offense to those happily married couples out there. I know you two are listening. Get it? You two? I'm insinuating only 2 people in the world are married happily. At any rate, dental care kit, gloves, eugenol, oil of cloves. There's a spatula, curved tweezers, cotton pellets. I mean, he hooks you up. Shit, this is shit you would not think of. And then this is all the you know, Motrin, aspirin, etc., and everything else to pack it and stuff. But you don't get these. You don't get these in the first aid kit. This is just in there because these guys kick ass. They give you get flat. I mean, I don't even know how they do it. If you don't buy one of these, you're not prepared. That's just all I'm telling you. I got 2 of them because you know why? I'm stupid. I give stuff away. But it is what it is. If you can, you should. If you can't, don't. But I do it anyways. At any rate, I'm Richie for JailBreak. This is AMP3 Outfitter. This is the Blood Stopper Kit, Individual First Aid Kit, and the Range Medic Bag by AMP3. I'll leave the links below. Not 1 cent goes to me. I'm doing this because these people, if every American still did their job like this, we'd still be America. At any rate, I'm out. Okay, so that's 2.5 hours. Everything else, I will leave links below. I have playlists that show you how to survive outdoors in the wintertime, how to survive indoors in the wintertime if you have no heat, etc., so forth. I couldn't cover everything in one video, but I wanted to put everything in one space so that people could utilize it as they saw fit. Links will be below. Everything you've seen in this video will be linked on my Amazon page if you were so inclined to buy it there, if it's the cheapest place or not. At any rate, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below and help the algorithm, and share this because I was just kicked off of Facebook today, so they're catching up to me. I'm out.